Welcome to Cosmic Channels. Open minds on cosmic lines. The show streams live Sundays at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Time on YouTube and Twitch. Tune in then for your chance to share your tale or your theories. The number is 1-833-703-0424. The Cosmic Channels are open. Oh yeah.
Woo! I'm Braden.
I'm Zell.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Andrew.
Well, we're taking calls. The lines are open. What's the number again, Zell? 1-833
703
703
0424.
I remember that.
Oh, you got it.
Easy. 24. Call us in any story you want, paranormal, except the ones Zell talked about, ghost stories, UFOs, any experience you have, we want to hear it. Now's your chance. But right now, interesting week in the news with, all this disclosure stuff with UFOs. Again, we're seeing articles coming out. The New York Times article, has a quote in it saying that like they have crafts from outside of Earth. I'm like, you think this is disclosure? You think you're going to get more since 2020? Again, it was in the news and then it's gone. With the year we're having, is this a good time to disclose this stuff to the public?
I got alien invasion for September, so.
On the bingo list?
On your apocalypse bingo?
Yeah.
I'm going with invasion of the pig babies. But interesting stuff. Like, what was your guys' take on it this week? Like, I saw it trending midway through the week. I was pretty excited about it.
We've been telling you this for 5 years.
Yeah, we tweeted it. Told you so. The real bitches.
Well, here's like the timeline that of stuff that has happened so far. You had the Tom DeLonge and the To the Stars Academy thing where they got their hands on those first videos, that Tic Tac and the gimbal foot, like those
Go Fast, the gimbal, the Tic Tac, yeah.
Yeah, they got their hands on those and they released those. And then it was all that stuff was in the news, and it's like, we got all these videos and people looking at them, analyzing them, whatever. And the US military hadn't confirmed whether those were actually real or not. Then was it like a year later or 2 years later, the US Navy came out and said, yes, we're declassifying those. Those are real videos of UFOs, of something.
Yeah. So that was earlier in the year.
Yeah.
But it's just, they confirmed that they are, unidentified aerial phenomena. We don't know what they are. They could be digital artifacts from the thermal. They could be birds. They could be whatever. They could be drones.
Dude, you honestly pilots,
don't know.
You have pilots that saw it that are like, that don't think that way though. Like that's why this is so interesting to me, because I get what you're saying, and there is like the video, like could someone be fabricating something? Possibly. But, I'd like to believe that when you hear the pilots' accounts of like what they saw, they don't say like aliens or UFO, but they don't say bird. They don't say that. Some of them say they saw it with their eyes too. Like,
this is cool. I love this shit.
Something fun to talk about. The thing that was in the news, that the most recent article is still referring to those same types of videos, and they're talking about the ATIP, which was the anomalous air. What was it? Air something.
Yeah, which was in charge of researching UFO
identification protocol. Yeah, it was like a private panel, classified panel that was
down. Right.
And so that was in the news when they released that. So that was like when you had Luis Elizondo. You kind of had Robert Bigelow coming into the picture because he had been in on it. He had provided some funding, or he had been contracted some of the work to analyze some of the materials which they suspected could have been from some of these craft. So that came into the news. And then, again, like I said, they had the military confirm that. And that was what was in the news, like late October. Was it like October last year? It was like October. It was in the news. October, November. It was in the news again. The ATIP stuff, and then you had the article today, which was basically saying that the Pentagon is going to make some more of their findings public of what they have found.
Oh man,
What
Come
they're going to
on.
make, what exactly they're going to make public, they haven't said. They just say we're thinking about making some more stuff public. Okay.
Dude, it's the best time for it. It slips right by.
Did they excavate another craft like Bob Lazar claims? Ooh. I still to this day, when Bob Lazar was on Rogan and they said like, yeah, one of them was excavated, and then no one said anything about it. I was like, what? No more questions about that? Yeah.
Yeah, like where like elaborate on that. Dug up where?
Did they talk about it in its documentary at all?
It's been a while since I watched the documentary, but if they didn't go into detail, it would have been the same thing. Like, oh yeah, they thought maybe one was excavated. And I went, that's the greatest news I've ever heard. Can we hear more about the excavation of the craft, please? And then there was never another mention. I was like, oh.
Still, I don't necessarily know if Bob Lazar has so much to do with this stuff.
No.
Because like the ATIP thing is more like it's more like our generation's Project Blue Book. It's more like they were studying these UFOs and, it just become a thing where I believe that the whole idea of establishing that thing was that technology now, military technology, has progressed to such a point where if there's something weird out there, we want to know if it's going to, if it's threatening humanity or if it's like a threat to national security. There is definitely, countries or powers out there that have the technology to build something that is, very, moves these ways or perhaps. And we want to know if they are actually doing it. Not necessarily are they alien, but is another country building these things?
Right. Now, here's the one quote from the new article from the New York Times that sent the internet into to lit it off pretty much. It's Davis, who now works for Aerospace Corp, a defense contractor, said he gave a classified briefing to a Defense Department agency as recently as March about retrievals from off-world vehicles not made on this Earth. Quote. His quote. So that's why everyone's like, they're going to tell us about alien craft from other dimensions or worlds. And I was like, fuck yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
that's the main quote though. That's why the rest of the stuff is more or less regurgitated from the article a few years ago.
Yeah.
But that quote about him giving briefings of off-world vehicles not made on this Earth is more than just like, oh, they have materials. It's like he actually said off-world vehicles in the quote.
Yeah. The only problem I have with that article is that quote still stands. I know that the authors made a correction to some of the stuff, like some of the information down at the bottom. They made a correction on July 24th, referring to some of the information that they printed in the article. They had to make a couple of small corrections and things. But they didn't say anything about the Davis quote. But that quote that they put there, it's a very short quote, and it's kind of one of those quotes that could be perhaps taken out of context, where the whole quote could have been like materials taken from objects suspected to be craft from off-world, blah, blah, blah.
But
instead of just putting that thing.
It wasn't retracted. It still stands. So as far as
I know,
it stands,
because the quote
it's
is still
awesome.
technically accurate. Like it's like I'm saying that quote still stands. I'm not saying that it's wrong.
It's so exciting because I'm like, maybe that, like how many times have we heard soft disclosure, right? Where, we're coming up for soft disclosure. And I'm like, it's starting to feel like that's what's happening now, is that we're getting all this soft disclosure of, UFO information. And the fact that they said, says something that when they said ATIP shut down, and they never really shut down, they just moved the department, like another department absorbed it, and they kept on keeping on with UFO research.
Yeah,
like the entire time. So like they never shut down. So I'm like, that's got to tell you something. There's obviously something to research. And then if you're trying to hide it, right? There's got to be something there. Why not just leave it and just be like, yeah, we're kept there and there's nothing there. That's why. It's because you don't want people like getting FOIA requests and like knowing where to look.
Did anyone else listen to George Knapp with Rogan?
Yeah, that was good.
I love it. Especially
because
I loved it when he's telling the accounts of Skinwalker Ranch. So vague and like all the crazy stuff. And Rogan's like, oh, okay, what's that have to do with aliens?
You know what? I really like listening to George Knapp. That Jeremy Corbell or
Corbell, yeah.
Yeah, he makes so many ridiculous, bold claims, and it's like he has nothing to back it up. He's like, yeah, we have evidence, but you know what I mean? We can't really show you.
Dude.
Or didn't you watch the documentary? Yeah, he did.
I'll never forget. We sat at like when we went to AlienCon and when we were in the back at the like lunch table, we sat across the desk from George Knapp.
Yeah.
And he's an investigative journalist. And I'm like, okay, like he plays the part 24/7 because at the table, he had like loose notepaper everywhere, and he was just going through it as if he was doing like investigative research right across the table.
He sat down, opened his like binder briefcase thing with those like 1,000 loose papers. It's all jammed in there, and he opens them up. He starts spreading them out on the table. He's scribbling on them. I'm like, holy fuck.
Yeah, it was a little concerning.
Kind of like
It's
he's kind of like
you're
Charlie
supposed to go
Day.
up there and talk today and give a presentation, and you've got all your loose notes all kind of like spread out. You don't got them really in a binder or nothing.
Yeah.
And then even some of the fellow AlienCon speakers like came over and talked to him and like,
You
George,
okay?
and like, George, hey, we okay? Are you okay, bud? I was like, is George Knapp like having a mental breakdown? Like, what is going on? Why is everybody over here talking to him?
He's getting old.
Wasn't that
Hugh Newman.
was it Hugh Newman? Yeah, was it Hugh Newman? Yeah, he came up and just like, are we okay? It sounded like they maybe had some like pre-beef.
No, sorry, it wasn't.
It wasn't Hugh Newman. It was
That other guy. I can't remember his name. He's kind of a weird guy. Can't think of his name right now.
Oh, the short guy.
Yeah,
The short old guy.
Yeah.
I can't remember what
I can't remember his
stuff he
name,
does.
but he came. Yeah, he's got a ponytail. Does he have a ponytail?
No, I thought he was bald. Anyway, I can't remember. But
What's the deal with this Russian fucking space weapon that could potentially be shooting down satellites? Have you guys heard about that?
Oh, the one they launched, the satellite blaster or whatever, that one?
Yeah.
Space blaster.
Like, is that like, they sound like they're fucking Cobra here. Cobra Commander fucking living in Russia? Like, this is crazy.
it's
Yeah.
Is there any proof to that?
I don't know if it's actually, I haven't looked at it. I know I saw the headline pop up, but I didn't go in to look at it because it's one of those things where it's like, it's a satellite blaster, but it isn't really, or it has something to do with like, there are treaties that have been put in place for, addressing the topic of space weapons or space-based weapons. So it's not something that up there, if you're attacking another country's satellites, that's like an act of war. Can't really do that. But if it's up there, it might have something to do with I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
Space
I'd
Force?
have to get
I
into
mean,
Space Force,
then
yeah.
they've been fucking putting bounties on American soldiers. So I don't, if that's not an act of war, I don't know what the fuck is.
it.
What's about the bounties? I didn't hear about the bounties.
You haven't heard about that?
No.
I've kind of
Oh,
heard about it
man.
in the news, but I haven't checked into it at all yet.
They put bounties on soldiers where?
In
American
Syria.
soldiers in Syria, yeah.
Like as like right now, or just came out right now, like from
No, it came out
No,
right now, and it was.
But
it's been going on for the last like couple years.
Yeah, you don't think American soldiers put some bounties on the Russian soldiers or some type of enemy?
No.
No.
Well, they definitely put bounties on when they invaded Iraq. There was definitely bounties, but that's a little bit of a different story.
Did they set bounties?
We're not at war with Russia. Like it's,
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Did Russia?
We kind of are.
Okay, but did Russia like try and follow through on bounties? I never heard anything about Russian soldiers killing American soldiers.
It wasn't Russian. So there was Russian, a section of the Russian military, like it's the GRU, like those guys that we've talked about before, like Russian special forces.
Right.
They have been identified as the perpetrators who were issuing bounties on American soldiers, and they would give these bounties to Afghani militant groups, and then like the groups would go out and find American soldiers. Like I don't know how many, if they're actually attributing how many deaths to that or are a direct result of that. I think that's still under investigation, but I know they've released some stuff where they've like that it's definitely something that
they caught like one of these Russians. Like how'd they come up? How'd they find out that about the bounties?
Well, they have sources from Russia, like they're classified, spy sources.
Dude,
Russia.
It's hard. I don't know if I believe any sources. I don't know if I believe anything.
I can't believe anything anymore. Feels
Yeah,
like
it's impossible.
It feels that way sometimes.
It's all misinformation and smoke and mirrors.
But if that did
crazy.
happen, that's fucking bananas.
It's an act of war.
It's an interesting time because like we've got like high tension between a lot of superpowers right now. So
Is Russia a superpower still, or are they? Is that
Yep.
I think
because
so.
they
I
have
think it's
nukes?
Russia, 100%.
because of nukes
I mean, there's still a military superpower as far as
or militaries
troops,
go?
like standing military. They
what-
have
Who's number one? China number one, or is America number one with troops now?
China's
I
number
think it's
one
been
in
China.
troops.
China's been
for
number one
a long
for a
time.
while.
Oh, okay.
Like in terms of
They've
personnel,
got more soldiers than we have bullets.
We as in Canada.
U.S. as
yeah,
well.
No, U.S. too. Yeah, that's like a fucking fact. That's
No.
No.
They don't have more. That's
More
ludicrous.
bullets than American soldiers, and that seems crazy.
That's baloney.
Well, no, I guess
heard it here
no,
first.
that's
Look
not.
that up.
I mean, America probably has more bullets than Chinese soldiers as well. They got a lot of fucking bullets in America.
Well,
Yeah.
let's see. I don't know. According to worldatlas.com, China's active military personnel comes out to 2,035,000.
Jesus, what's Canada? 4,000.
9.
9 and 4 beavers.
Yeah.
9. Couple fucking slingshots.
And it sucks because like anything in the water, we got to go to West Ed and pull out our
the
submarines
submarines.
out of the swimming pool there.
No, we have two active subs.
Yeah.
JTF2 used to be badass.
Aren't they both in West Ed?
No,
You
we have
ride
2 military subs and then 2 other ones in West Ed. So the same amount in them all. Something like that.
That kids ride.
You go down, you go through the fake reef, you come up. Anyways, call in show if you want to give your 2 cents on the current state of UFOs and the military and all that jazz. Give us a shout. 1-833-703-0424. Or
Or
we'll
if
just
you got
or we'll keep
anything.
bullshitting.
Yeah.
I got sun fucked today. I went on the boat for the first time this year.
Buddy.
Forgot. Good thing I had a big hat on because I didn't put sunscreen and I got just melted. You can see my rosy nose.
Do you wear that cool hat that you wear?
Yeah, my big Ranger hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, big Ranger hat.
It's I was out there today too, and I was doing a nice kayak, hoping I'd see something come flying over the hills. I was right in the area where the Hannah McRoberts UFO was seen. And then I read a report. It's weird. I read a report that UFO cases are surging in BC right now.
What is?
I'm like, it's a weird time. We're getting lots of stuff. So we're definitely in another UFO
Oh yeah.
UFO hotbed here right now.
I'm
Lot of-
happy for any news right now other than anything COVID related or anything to do with China America political relations. I don't want any more of this.
I wonder what the UFO reports sound like right now. Like, is it stuff, is it like I'm seeing crazy weird stuff in the sky, or is it like I have been abducted by aliens? I wonder, somebody needs to start a database and
Yeah.
oh, somebody needs to start a new UFO group because MUFON's falling apart.
Yeah. Holy
Oh.
shit,
The
man.
MUFON meltdown.
I almost cut
Yeah.
my hand off because I shook that guy's hand at Alien Con.
Yeah.
Burn it. Just fucking burn it.
Yeah.
rid of it.
So
Chemical
if you
peel.
didn't know,
Creepy fuck.
first thing that happened is like one of their senior advisors or someone senior within MUFON
The head.
was no, it wasn't before
before him.
Yan.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He was like making like some racist comments a little bit. And then everyone was like, whoa, like that's kind of weird coming from a UFO group. And then no one did anything. And then shortly thereafter, Yan Harzan, who is the executive director, and I know that because he gave us his, I can't show it. He gave us his card at AlienCon to do an interview with him.
Burn that fucking
Burn it.
thing.
Yeah, and he got arrested for trying to solicit sex from a minor.
Now
He's a diddler.
it was like an undercover agent on the other side of the keyboard, right? And that's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a diddler.
Fucking diddler. Put him in jail.
He got to catch a predator, man.
Oh yeah.
But wait, isn't this what they did to our fucking buddy Steve Romanowski or whatever the fuck his name is?
No, that was
He got
child.
accused of being a diddler.
No, it was child pornorgraphy though. That's a little, he had it on his computer. Same.
Still
I
under
mean,
the diddler umbrella.
Oh, completely under the umbrella. I'm not saying it. I'm just saying he got caught with pornography.
Yeah, but Remember that Diddler story too? He was telling about his little fucking nephew or some shit running around.
Yeah, and he's like, I just wanted to get a camera and just film him.
I see. Yeah, I see. He's running around naked. I quickly ran to grab my camera. We're all like, "What? You did what?"
Yeah, I've been fucking emailing the head of MUFON. He likes to see it. Fuck.
I read an article in Winnipeg, CTV News out of Winnipeg, and it says that there's been a significant increase in UFO sightings across Canada during the pandemic. In 2019, there was 849 cases, and this year there's a 50% increase in the same time period.
That's because no one's got anything else to do.
Doing drugs.
Right? But isn't that crazy? You have all these people chilling, laying out in the backyard, getting some sun, and the cases are people are seeing weird shit. That's we listen. We've told you, keep those eyes on the skies. We say it at the end of every episode.
People are listening.
Yeah, it's
listening to everything but this fucking podcast because nobody's calling.
Yeah, what the fuck? This is a call-in show.
Yeah, this is.
We're gonna go.
Right.
We'll have to switch to Dungeons and Dragons next week if no one calls in.
Yeah.
No more cosmic
Can
channels.
we call people? Like, what can we do here?
Can we? You want to? I can call out. I can call out on Discord. We want to call someone on Discord. Who's alive? Let's randomly call someone.
Yeah, let's do it.
How about this person?
Who's on there?
I don't know. Let's just pick a random person who's online. Can I call?
Call a fan.
Call them and just congratulations, you won 2 free tickets to. Then we get hung up on. Right
I'm calling. I'm calling Winterfang on Discord.
Yo, Winterfang.
Starting to call.
Let's do it.
No answer. No answer. Okay. Well, we'll try it a couple more in a second here. Maybe let me check my settings on Discord. Output. No, that's all good. We're good.
We're getting screened. Not only are people not calling us, but we're getting fucking screened.
Well, listen, I'm sure this happens with the call-in show. We can't make people call, so
Can't make you call.
We need to make another podcast like the Jerky Boys and just prank call.
Let's
people.
call Oriana. She's live streaming right now. Think she'll answer?
No,
Maybe.
because she's live streaming.
Yeah, but that'd be even funnier.
What is she live streaming?
I think it's
we got to call. We got to call.
Return to Obra Dinn.
Someone took the plunge. Someone took the plunge. Let's bring him in here.
Oh my god.
They felt bad for us.
Hello,
Oh.
Cosmic Channels.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Yo.
Hey.
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
How's it going?
Good.
It's Cody again. Honestly, I just
Cody.
kind of wanted to keep the streak going.
Yo.
Keep the streak. Hey, someone's got to call. Everyone be more like Cody. He calls every week.
Yeah. Be a Cody.
How's it going?
I don't even know what the topic is.
There's no topic. We're just bullshitting.
No topic.
We talked about some UFOs.
The recent ATIP coming out saying they have crafts and all the UFO in the news this week.
I think with the government coming out with all these UFO disclosures and stuff like that, it's cool. But I think the problem is going to be that they're going to probably shelter a lot of it. Like they're only going to show us maybe 1 or 2 things, throughout the whole, like if there's footage or whatever, they're only going to show part of it, I think.
Yeah,
they're not going to show the whole story.
They'll just
for sure.
drip a couple
But even
things.
just give us confirm that yes, we have crafts that originated from another, not from this world. Just confirm that.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's been quotes and stuff, but if they come out and they're like, yep, we in fact have something, right? I mean, game changer.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's fair.
Anyways,
I really don't have any other topics to talk about right now. I just got off work, so
no worries, man. Sounds like you got kids in the background there. So
yeah, just got my
fatherly duties.
My youngest.
No, it's good. Hey, thanks for keeping the streak alive, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Have a good night, guys.
You too.
Bye, Cody.
Right. Oh, actually, you know what? There is something I was going to bring up.
What's that?
About the last time I called and I forgot. I was going to tell you guys about a dream I had, and I wondered maybe if, I don't know, anybody knew, if there's some kind of meaning to it.
Sure.
It's pretty simple, but it was very vivid. I had a dream there was a really big storm, like a thunderstorm, and the clouds were really dark and they were coming really low. And then all of a sudden, they kind of started to turn into like, I don't know, like massive, I don't know, like I guess dirt piles, like giant, like mounds of dirt. But they kind of started like falling from the sky. And it was getting really dangerous.
Shit.
So trying to like dodge like dirt clumps everywhere.
Dirt clumps from the sky.
Yeah, it was really weird.
You had a premonition of asteroid impact, I believe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
ELE, you heard it here first. Nostra Cody.
Maybe I'm just dodging, I don't know, life goals or something.
And do you have any life goals that you've been putting off?
It's weird. Oh, dreams, they get those deep meanings. People say, I don't know if I've ever had one where like it actually linked.
I mean, I'm dodging going to the gym because,
Aren't we all?
yeah.
No, yeah, we can show you a video contrary. There's
Anyway, yeah, that's all I got for tonight.
No worries, man. Yeah, dreams are hard to decipher, but if you got something you've been meaning to do besides the gym, make sure you do it. Don't put it off.
Yeah, I will.
All right, brother. We'll talk to you again.
All right, have a good night,
Thanks,
guys.
Cody.
You too. Bye.
You too, man.
All right, bye.
You can always count on Cody.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was a little worried there. I was like, man, we haven't heard from Cody. I was like, he's at least our one guy.
We're
Like,
half
come
an
on.
hour in, yeah.
Like episode 10 too. I'm like, meh. Well, like I said,
All right, now the floodgates are open.
Call-ins all the time.
Floodgates are open. Let's bring in another
People
caller.
are feeling guilty.
Uh-oh. We shamed him into it.
Hello, Cosmic
good.
Channels.
Hey, how y'all doing? It's Chris
Hey, Chris, make sure you,
from Denver.
make sure you turn off the volume of
Hello?
your live stream, or you get an echo.
Oh, I appreciate that.
No worries, man. From Denver, you said?
Yeah, I called y'all last week.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Talked to y'all about the LSD trip.
Yeah, man. Welcome back to the show.
Yeah, man. Just like Cody, just trying to keep that streak alive.
Yep. No worries.
But so I wanted to ask you guys: do y'all remember hearing about those drones that were flying grid search patterns over Colorado?
I do.
Yes,
that was in the
yes.
wintertime, wasn't it? Like just before Christmas or something.
Yeah, it was like right before Christmas, and it happened a couple months into 2020. I just wanted to know, like, what do y'all think that was? Because I remember seeing one of those drones, and it was weird because it's like I live near a military base, so I see flying military aircraft all the time. I see the F-16s, the Blackhawks, Kiowas, all those different aircraft. And I remember I was sitting outside my house one night just smoking, and I look up, and it looked like it was maybe 12 or 15 feet from wingtip to wingtip, and it was about 20, 30 feet long maybe. And they were flying at about like 200 feet. Well, it was just the one. It was flying at like 200 feet. And I remember watching it. It was just going in a straight line, and it disappeared. And then I saw the same one come back, but it was like 2 miles further down, if that makes sense.
So they're flying. It's like that size of drone. They're flying a grid pattern over the area.
Yeah, apparently they were all over like northern and central Colorado.
Yeah, I heard a lot of reports
there was
about
a whole there was a huge task force put together that comprised of like DEA, Border Patrol. I think the FBI threw some of their drones in there, and they were trying to hunt them down, and they never really figured it out. And they kind of just disappeared as quickly as they showed up. So I was just wondering what y'all thought they might have been.
I remember hearing the story, and then as fast as it was in the news, it was out of the news with no explanation. So I never actually found out.
Yeah, I kind of fell off the radar for me too. But now that we're starting to talk about all this stuff, I'm like, maybe they were searching for something out there or practicing. But it's weird that no other agency. It makes me think that it was some sort of, some sort of military test or something, or they were testing some sort of capabilities over a city. Like they used to fly over Canada to see how the best way to disperse like aerosol agents, right? So it's like, who knows what they were practicing for? Probably a quick couple week training before it could kind of catch in the news. Everyone's like, what the hell was that? And then they're gone. They've practiced. off somewhere else. Because if you search up like strange drones in you start to see strange drones in like Denver, Nebraska. There's all sorts of places where people are starting to see weird ones.
Yeah, and it was weird because I remember I used to live in North Texas before I'd left for the military and just like moved all over the place. And when we'd get really bad mosquito seasons, they'd have aerial spraying, and the planes they were just normal like Cessna 172s, but they were just retrofitted with sprayers. So for a second, I was like, maybe that's what these drones are.
Right.
But there's like no bug infestations or nothing going on that could have been an aerial spraying. So it was one of those things like y'all said, it disappeared as fast as it showed up.
Well, it's in the middle. It's wintertime, right? And it's like mosquitoes. You'd think mosquito season would be like in the fall when like the melt was happening and all like the stagnant pools were forming and shit. But like wintertime in Colorado.
And the thing about it, it was during the colder months out here, and out here we don't even really get mosquitoes,
right?
Because it doesn't rain enough for there to be much stagnant water sitting around. So it was one of those things. And then with the recent, like with the Pentagon coming out talking about the UFOs and stuff, maybe it could have been something to do with that. You know what I mean?
Like maybe they were trying to track something.
Yeah, or find something, right? Something that crashed or hit.
Yeah, that's been the thoughts too.
Yeah, either that or as we said, like maybe it was just some type of training exercise and they got out of there before people started asking too many questions. Tough to tell, but Dan, do you know anything about?
Yeah, maybe when they realized it got hot.
Dan, do you know anything about how like the Air Force would do any types of drills like that? Is there any type of public disclosure, or can they just do it and leave?
They would have probably released some sort of report because it made such a big noise, like if it made this kind of
big
impact.
They denied it.
They
denied having anything to do with it.
Right. So nobody. The thing is like it's still a mystery. Nobody really knows who they are because it could be. It doesn't just have to be one group, since there was like multiple sightings. Like some groups have claimed responsibility for some of the drones, but these other drones, like nobody knows who was flying them. One of their theories they were kicking around was like these drones were like methamphetamine delivery drones. Like they were taking packages drones of meth and dropping them off someplace. Like they were just moving a whole bunch. That's one of the theories. I think that one's been shot down by the authorities. I think they said, no, we don't think that's actually what was going on. But I mean, with the kind of thing now, like anyone can buy a bunch of drones. Like it's like having a whole fleet of drones. It's an expensive thing. Like it's, but somebody can do it. It can be done. What they were doing with those drones, like, I don't know. Were they practicing doing the drone displays, or were they just like, again, people said they described them flying in a grid pattern. So I don't know if they were actually looking for something, because I don't know how big the drones exactly were. So even if they were looking for something, like I don't know how big were they?
The one that I saw, like I said, it was the one that I saw. I don't know if it had to do with what was going on, but it was about 15 feet from wingtip to wingtip. So it wasn't necessarily big, but it was bigger than most recreational drones that you could buy, like the DJI Mavics or whatever you could buy at Target or Walmart. And it kind of had somewhat of a government appearance to it, if that makes sense. Like the flat paint job, the like no identifying markings. There was none of that. And it was just,
Was this part of like the organized fleet of ones that they said they were flying grid patterns in, or is this a different one?
I mean, I think it fit the description, because there was multiple descriptions that came out from different areas. So it was like there were parts of Colorado that were describing ones like the ones I saw, and then there were parts of Colorado like down in the Springs, and in between that were describing ones that looked like somewhat like the Predators, like similar in size and function, but they were silent and they made no noise.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things that people would talk about it, and no agencies came forward. Nobody was like, hey, that was us, our bad. It was just one of those things that happened and then it disappeared.
Just pulling up for context, I found like a report that says, based on the footage and stuff that it's on businessinsider.com, an article looking into it. And they said, based on video evidence collected, that the drones appear to measure 6 feet across. So they're not little drones. They're giant. They're like, that's like
sizable.
Whatever, 500 candy bananas.
Yeah,
Was
and
any of this
they're
caught on
definitely
camera?
expensive because they're saying
Yeah.
about scales on like drones on this scale would cost somewhere between individually $30,000 to $40,000.
Now, is there like video evidence of this?
Yeah. You can watch the videos of the lights and the drones moving all over Denver.
Hey man, we're gonna let you get back to your kids. Sounds like she needs you.
Or he,
Yeah, I
Or he-
appreciate that. Thank you guys. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem, man. Thanks for the call. Call back anytime. Have a good night.
All right. Yeah. Y'all have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
yeah, I would definitely, it'd be concerning for sure. Like seeing those drones and then not knowing, and then knowing that like the sheriff's department's investigating and like no one's getting anywhere. It's
They're not responding to for comments or anything. Even the news, most of the news sites said that they tried to contact the sheriff's department. They never got back to them. So the fact that that's pretty much been the status of this case since January or February is a little weird. Definitely weird. Well, what's going on there? Unless it's some like Homeland Security bullshit or something. It's still a mystery.
I definitely think I think it's a government test. That's what I dropped. They're probably doing some sort of test of like some sort of search and find in a city limit, like just doing a quick test. That's what I think. I think it's a military operation practicing with these drones to see if they can find something or whatnot. Like if they're
some type of
looking for
game?
something specific, or they're just like, you know what I mean?
I mean, they're
Just-
talking about shit that they found now. They
Yeah.
could have found something. This could have
Right?
been it. That could have been the fucking incident, man.
No, that's not the stuff that the guy's talking about in the article that they just put out was like years ago.
Oh, is
Yeah.
it?
So
Yeah.
whatever, but
From what? Well, that yeah,
whatever it
but
is now,
maybe
this could be.
this was a new one that's take 20 years to come out though. And all the videos I can find of it though are like
So bad.
they
Completely.
look like aircraft, like they're flashing lights, dots in the sky, grainy. Like cell phones at night have bad aperture and like it's really grainy usually, so it's tough to tell.
Yeah.
But that was really cool there for a while, and then it just died out of the news, no explanation really, and then here we are, still looking for answers 7 months later. What do we got? Anyone else? Anyone? No callers. Lines are still open. We're gonna take another. We got another 20 minutes or so. So if you got something to say about UFOs or anything, give us a shout. 1-833-703-0424.
This is your chance to talk to the number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4th theorists.
You had to put number 1 in
No
there,
big
eh?
deal.
Yeah, you couldn't just keep.
Hey, I was number 1 for a good fucking like 5 minutes.
I don't know why you guys keep approving these posts, like hurting your feelings. Like I feel bad.
I didn't improve shit. I would
I approved
I would have deleted that one. All right, we got another caller. Hello, Cosmic Channels.
Hi guys. Hey, how are y'all?
Hey, good. How
Good,
about
how are you?
Sorry about that. Sorry about interference. Hey guys, David here from Texas. I'm a pretty neat fan, so I just saw you guys were live streaming right now, and I wanted to just call to kind of keep it going.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Right on.
How's things
What's going
down,
on, David?
How's things down in Texas?
Pretty good. Super hot.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I don't know if y'all have been to Texas before, but it's pretty hot up here. I mean, like I think right now as we're getting into hurricane season, but normally like summer over here is like 100 degrees, 100 plus, so
Ooh,
it's pretty sultering.
yeah, it's goddamn hot. I mean, it gets hot here, but what if I said it gets to 35 degrees? What would that mean to you?
Is that 35 degrees Fahrenheit or Celsius?
Celsius.
I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit.
Is 40 100?
Let me see.
I don't know.
40 degrees Celsius is 104 Fahrenheit. Damn hot. So
Now-
if you're getting 100
Okay,
degree
so-
temperatures, yeah.
David, do you have a favorite
Yeah.
conspiracy? You got a story or something like an interesting? Have you ever had an experience, paranormal or anything?
I do, but I don't know if it worked yet. I actually have a question for you guys.
Sure,
More than
ask it.
anything. And I apologize if you guys probably talked about this before or not, but I'm just trying to. It's just something that came to mind right now. But I'm pretty sure you guys are like familiar with the Travis Walton case.
Yep.
Yeah. Fire in the
we've
sky.
Met, we've met Travis Walton in person.
Shook his hand.
Yep.
Oh wow,
This weird
that's
limp
cool.
hand.
Okay, so my question's gonna take a while, but if I'm not mistaken, he said that like whenever he was taken up in the ship and stuff, according to a story, he said that like I guess he at one point he got into like a control module and he touched like a panel and like all of a sudden he said like the floor and the wall like became transparent and then like he was I guess flying it or something like that. Is that correct, right?
I'm not,
Yeah, I
something
think
like
you're.
that.
I think you're.
It's been a while since I actually went deep into his case, but you might know more than us. But that sounds about right.
Okay. Oh, okay. No, just I'm trying to remember the details myself actually as I'm asking this question. But there's another case where it's I think I forget her full name, but her first name is June, and she had like another abduction story. And I think if I'm not mistaken, like she had claimed like something kind of similar, where I guess like whenever she was taken up, like they showed her like how the ship works, and then like she said like the wall and the floor became transparent as well and stuff. Like, you guys like kind of like does that like lend like any credibility to those stories for y'all, or are y'all pretty convinced that they're both telling the truth?
Well, I can tell you right now, I got a really weird vibe from Travis Walton, and it's one of two things. That's a guy who got abducted, and that's how abducted people are. Or like, I was like, this guy, I just didn't want to believe him. Like it was hard. He was just a very odd individual.
It is true, but like some of the things about his story though, and like the craft, we've done some other like UFO cases. The craft kind of seems kind of similar in some ways, and like some of the accounts seem similar, like missing time and all that stuff.
And with the walls and stuff inside turning translucent, being able to see through the transparent, and being able to see through them. I mean, I'm pretty sure Bob Lazar even talked about that at one point in his of the ships being able to do that and seeing stuff like that. So it's like it is a common occurrence, but so it does lend credibility for me in my eyes. But at the same time, it also means that now I know if I was to make up a UFO story, like things to say. So I don't necessarily believe everyone, but I definitely think it's very interesting that a lot of these people say very similar things.
Right.
Some people say this shit to make money. Like, I hate it, but that's what it is, right? Like there's some people who profit from this, and this is their livelihood, right? So it's in their best interest to make the best story.
Sure. Now that makes sense. Yeah, for sure. Like, like people who come out like these days and like, oh, I just saw like an alien like a couple months ago. Like, I could definitely see like the reason why, like, because to get a story out of it or to maybe somehow get profit of it. But I guess for like me, like certain people who like have been talking about it like since like the 70s or 80s and stuff, like, and if they hadn't really made any money, I'm like, okay, well, what would be the point in telling that story for the same couple of decades if it didn't really lead to anything,
Yeah, like,
well, that's like we talked about Herbert Sherman. Herbert Shermer. And he got abducted and told people, and it negatively impacted his life. It like ruined his life. Like, it was not good. Nothing good came of it. And he's still stuck with that story, right? So it's like, he wasn't signing movie deals and stuff. So it's
well, in the same vein, like if you say you got abducted and like you came back and it messed you up that bad, whereas like normal life like was no longer an option. Like, you couldn't just now, because he was at that time he was a lumberjack, right? He was like going he was part of like a logging crew or some shit, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So Matt, like,
yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
If I was going with my own scenario, I got abducted, I came back, and now I can no longer do carpentry because all I can think about is me getting abducted and the situation that unfolded after it and I told a few people and everyone starts like, either they don't believe you 100%.
And then there's another case that I've heard from like the 70s. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and there's this guy, Terry Lovelace, and he was in the military, I think the Air Force, and he was talking about him and his buddies, like they saw something in the sky, and I guess when they got back to the base, like later, like their commanding officers were asking them like questions, and they're like, well, you have to submit to this hypnosis and stuff, and they said that like just things kind of around the base kind of got weird for them, like they were being questioned a lot and stuff. Like for somebody
What
like
if they
with
brought in
that
Dr. Sprinkle
background
for
from
that?
Go ahead.
I just wonder if they brought in Dr. Sprinkle for that expert hypnosis.
Yeah, famed hypnotist.
Famed
Dr.
hypnotist
Sprinkles.
Robert Sprinkles. Great guy.
That one sounds really very familiar. I'm trying to think about what case that is with the two military people. It's really ringing a bell for me. But
yeah, I know the one guy, like his name is Terry Lovelace, and I don't remember the partner. But I heard about it a couple days ago.
We've talked about that.
It's probably a goose.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sure you guys have talked about like everything that I've like have questions about before, but like I just only listened to like a couple episodes, like probably about 10 episodes or so, y'all. But y'all are just pretty entertaining and stuff whenever y'all talk about it.
Cheers, man. Appreciate it.
It's like I said, it's pretty well known with pilots and stuff that pilots will say that there's like a policy of like don't say anything because you can be grounded, like they won't let you fly and stuff. So it's like there is a culture of like it's these people who don't want to come forward and say anything because they're worried about being punished or taken off duty or whatnot.
Well,
so
I think that comes with any type of non-civilian work.
Yeah,
You
probably.
know what I mean? Like it's all anything with chain of command. Like you're not going to disclose anything unless you're fucking allowed to.
Yeah, that's true. And then I'm sure like, with them, like, who knows, like maybe like, they say like, oh, all of our communications are being monitored. Like I wonder for like people, like if you in the military, if you get like a certain rank or something, like do they monitor you even more, just to make sure that you're not like saying stuff to like the wrong people that you shouldn't be or something, I don't know. It's just my guessing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, as far back to the original question, like Travis Walton and stuff, like I always want to believe those stories really bad. And so after meeting him and stuff and, reading some of his stuff, maybe he did. And maybe what I was getting to before I got cut off by my own audio there is that maybe it fucked him up so bad that he could never really be part of society again. And then the book deals and like that kind of way to profit off his story was his only way forward. That's like the other half.
Alien-induced PTSD.
Maybe. Can never get over it.
But here's my question. Has there been anyone in the history of fucking UFOs that have ever profited more off of a fucking story? Like book deals, movies, fucking everything. Probably he's got fucking toys. He's probably got it all.
Travis Walton toy.
He's the fucking Disney of UFO abductions.
I'd
have to look at his net worth, but yeah, he definitely.
I don't even think Fire in the Sky. I don't know if he gets residuals from the Fire in the Sky motion picture.
Yeah.
I don't even know
Well,
if
he probably signed a bad deal. I wouldn't be surprised if whatever they wrote the story, whatever they pitched him the screenplays, like, hey, we'll give you $50,000 for this, and then they made whatever in the end.
I don't even think it got that good reviews either. Like I know
so much more shady shit with that story too.
I know that movie traumatized like a generation. Like I know it freaked me the fuck out when I saw it on TV one time, the abduction scene, but fuck, like I don't know if he actually gets paid from it. I don't know if he makes money from that movie, but I don't think it actually did very well, like in terms of like monetarily. Like
Yeah, I'm not sure.
We got to move on to the next caller, but we appreciate you calling in and thanks for listening to the show and let us know when you catch up.
Oh, thanks guys. I appreciate it. Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, man. Have a good night.
Go on, take care,
Y'all
man.
have a good night. All right, bye-bye.
Mr. Walton. It's not a great handshake. For some reason, that still bothers me.
You got strong armed, eh?
He just like grabbed my fingertips and shook my hand. I was like, ooh.
Maybe he's got arthritis.
Maybe. I'm not. I don't know. I'm not going hard. No, it was Walton was faking it. I'm not going 100% believe him. I don't know.
Have you ever heard of the Jehovah's Witnesses coming on Sunday? Like this late in the day, ringing the doorbell.
They're not allowed to come to your house right now. That's what I heard.
Here's my question, Brady.
They sent letters.
Have you heard the good news?
I just opened the door and said not interested.
You just gotta say
just
Alun
assumed.
Akbar.
I don't know what they.
They in Jehovah Witness in my neighborhood are not allowed to come to the doors because of COVID. Like their chapter said, no going to doors. So they sent anyone handwritten letters in my neighborhood. They said like they didn't have
you
your
read the good news?
Yeah. Are you like, is your life feeling empty? Have you heard about our Lord and Savior Jehovah? Blah blah. I was like, oh my God, I got a letter, like a handwritten, hand postage letter sent to me. They're getting relentless for their tithes or whatever. How do they make money? I don't know. You join and you
Conning people. That's how they get their money.
All right. Well, last call. Here they are. They're back. Hello, Cosmic Channels.
What's up, man? It's Tom from Atlanta.
Tom from
Georgia.
Atlanta.
Woo!
How's it going, Tom?
Yeah, I heard it got like 30 seconds, man. I'm excited. I finally got home off of work to be able to call you guys. I was about to have to call you from the kitchen.
Oh, man. Thanks for calling. Your last call of the night.
Yeah, what are we talking about tonight?
Whatever you want. We've been talking a little UFOs, some disclosure,
Drones.
Drones. Birds or drones, right?
Yeah, pigeons.
Yeah, birds aren't real.
Died
We all
off
know
in the
that.
70s.
Yeah, birds aren't real.
real.
They're all CIA
Squirrels
control
are
device.
the land drones, too.
We all know don't fuck with squirrels.
Don't fuck with squirrels.
Don't fuck with squirrels. Well, the one thing I wanted to kind of bring up was just kind of what we're dealing on right here in the major cities in Atlanta is just this the federal troops coming in and all of that, and the silence about it. What's your guys' take on all that?
It's funny that you would think that it's silent because like we're well aware of it in Canada. It's crazy, like seeing some of the videos and stuff coming out.
Yeah, it's not broadcasted on American news, man. It's crazy. Like the only time you get it is off of BuzzFeed or Flipboard or Reddit. I was talking to my mom who only watches Fox News. She's, straight Trumper. And she's just like, I told her about it today and she was like, what? I was like, yeah, this is happening. It's been happening. People have no idea.
So how many troops, like what kind of troops are we talking in Atlanta? What's going on? Boots on the ground.
So in Atlanta right now, they had 1,000 National Guard deployed there. They were protecting. It was so funny. So we had a big incident down by University Avenue where they burned down the Wendy's where one of these people got shot. And we had groups of armed protesters that were pretty much turning away police and anybody that was going there. And they had to bring in the National Guard to clear them out. And when they actually brought them in, they ended up not deploying them there. They deployed them to just the governor's mansion and the city capitol.
So just more for protection?
As far as like, for protection of state buildings, but it wasn't protection of the citizens though.
Right. Because I know we've heard
it was literally,
we've heard in like Portland and stuff, they're doing like the officers are just pulling people off the streets.
So
in rented
they are
minivans.
doing that. Yeah, I know they are, but it's not uncommon apparently for federal officers to use unmarked minivans just because these guys aren't federal agents, as they say. These guys are mercenaries.
Right.
I mean, they've released pictures of these dudes. They got some, and they're all at different age groups. They're definitely hired mercenaries from some Blackwater or something like that.
It's fucking terrifying. That is absolutely terrifying. Like, isn't this supposed to be that you could pride yourselves on the free country? Like, that's insane.
Yeah, and down here in Atlanta, so last night they vandalized the Atlanta ICE building, thank God, which ICE is the...
what is that?
The Immigrant Control Enforcement, I guess is what it stands for.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, they pretty much go around and arrest illegal people that don't have citizenship in Atlanta. So they vandalized the building. So they deployed federal agents just to protect that building.
Okay.
Yeah. And in the meantime, we have officers that, like the police officers, aren't even showing up to work. And if they are, they're just sitting on Netflix. They're just letting it happen. Like an armed group of protesters that are occupying blocks around the streets, which they haven't cleared out now. But like a week ago, man, like if you went down there, like there was police officers getting forced back into their vehicles and forced out of the area because they were just outgunned.
Right. So they've just kind of just
making
given up.
$50,000 a year. Not worth it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm talking like 20 dudes with AR-15s. Like, no, you need to get out of this neighborhood. And the cops are like, okay, bye.
It's like citizen militias taking over, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's not. I don't want to view it in like a negative way though, because they're protesting at a spot where one of the victims of the Black Lives Matter movement got killed. So they're not doing it in a negative way, but it just seems like they've lost control of the city at that point for a second. So then Kent called in the National Guard.
Okay.
And now the mayor and Kemp are in a lawsuit together because she's like, everybody used to wear masks. And then Kemp's like, screw you, the governor. Here's the National Guard. We're enforcing this. You guys can't protest. And Kemp's trying to stop her from posting publicly or speaking about COVID, period, as part of the lawsuit.
That's so
the governor is trying to stop the mayor of Atlanta doing that.
Strange times.
So fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird, man.
Yeah. Well,
honestly,
all right, boys.
This kind of shit is so strange. I don't even know where to begin. I'm like, it's just so like wild what's going on in the world right now. And it's, there's these kind of protests going everywhere. Like I was reading about huge protests in Russia now too. Like it's, there's a lot of unrest everywhere.
Well, so the thing about Portland that's funny to me is there's no crime or vandalism or anything. It's not what they're showing on the news. They make it seem like every day this whole place is a war zone. There's just one building that has graffiti on it, and that was like some city building, I believe, or something like that, but it's just calm. Everything was fine, and then they sent the federal officers there, and that's when everybody got pissed off. It's because, like, why do you have these unmarked agents running around abducting people that are just trying to go home from work? They weren't even a part of a protest. They just threw them in a van.
It's one of those things where it's like, for me, I'm like, read the room. Like, do you not realize, like, what these protests started about? It's like, you're going to do that now? You're going to send, like, unmarked police? Like, it's such an overstep, in my opinion, like, and such an overreach of, like, I'm like, it was just such a poor call, I think. Like, it's a powder keg right now.
I don't know if
like,
it's one of you guys
try to incite it more?
But, like, I feel like Donald Trump is just saying stuff and, like, shitting in his hand and throwing it in the wall and hope it sticks. Like,
I think he's been doing that the whole time he's been
for it.
Fucking charge.
Yeah, we try and not we try and keep the politics off our show because it can get pretty heated. But
I feel that, but sometimes it can be kind of hard.
Exactly. Like we try not to, but at the same time, like you watch all this stuff and you're like, well, I mean, who do you turn to? Like, how are you supposed to?
Yeah, right.
November is going to be interesting.
Okay, here's all you need to know about how our executive officer operates, or how the campaign for the next Republican president wants to run their campaign. They recently ran a commercial ad on TV, and Donald Trump is running as a president, and his kind of platform is running as the president of law and order. This campaign ad that he ran has a picture of a policeman in riot gear being tackled by what seemed to be protesters. He says this is happening in America, blah, 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 blah. Or that's what the ad implies, heavily implies. That picture is actually taken from a protest in Ukraine. The protest in Ukraine was protesting against a president who was effectively trying to end the democratic government in Ukraine. This president ended up vacating his position, turned up in Moscow, asking for asylum. He was tried in absentia in Ukraine and found guilty of high treason.
That's crazy.
Jesus Christ. Who the fuck is vetting this shit before they put it out? Like that is
I think
bananas.
that kind of that's just facts. That's just
it's like they're
stuff
trying
that
to make him look like
happened.
an asshole.
So
it's like they're purposely letting him fucking sewer himself.
Yeah.
Well, and now you look around, he's like, oh yeah, you guys got the stimulus. I lowered insulin down to like what cents now. He's so trying to regain, but okay, no politics. Back to what I was saying with the federal thing is they're about to go to Chicago, and that's not going to go over easy. In Chicago, when they get into P-Town, they take their First Amendment rights similarly. Yeah. I'm talking about Atlanta down here in the South and Georgia, dude. I've lived here my whole life. Guns everywhere. I mean, there's gunshots every night. everywhere I live in Atlanta. Like, you just hear ARs and shotguns and pistols going off, just depending on what neighborhood you're in. But yeah, and they're everywhere. Good luck.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, wild times, man. Wild times.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're going to wrap the show up, but feel free to call us back maybe next week or sometime after that and give us an update on the situation going on down there.
Yeah, man, I just want to say thank you. I found you guys like a year ago, and I was working a really shitty kitchen job, and you guys got me through a lot of boring shifts.
Hey, man, that's the least we could do. Least we could do.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah, keep your head on a swivel.
That's why we
bud.
do it.
Yeah, man. All right, you guys take it easy.
Yeah, have a great night.
Stay safe out there,
brother.
Bye.
See you, bud.
Wild times,
Wild times.
especially south of the
You
border.
know, every time somebody says that to us, like comments on just listening to us during their shitty jobs, it means a lot because like I've been there.
Oh, yeah.
Working the worst fucking job ever and like just spamming Smodcast or something like that. You know what I mean? Like back in the day, and just like being so appreciative to have someone to take my mind off the monotonous fucking trash that I was doing every day.
Everyone's been there. Everyone's a shit job or doing something repetitive that you just get sick of after a while. And it's good. That's
Yeah. I mean, it's not much better now. Instead of having a shit job, I get shit on at my job.
We've never made fun
At
of you.
least I
that
make
bad.
more money. Huh?
we never make fun of you that bad.
I'm talking
I
about
know.
my real job.
well, some
I
people
know.
will say we shit on them really bad.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
I shit on myself more than anybody
we called
shits
you
on me.
buddy. Someone was upset. They're like, "Yeah, I hear you guys call him buddy, and I know that's a form of disrespect."
I fucking hate when people call me buddy.
Not in Canada.
Yeah.
I'm not
All
your
right,
buddy, bro.
I'm not your bro,
your buddy,
pal. Yeah.
Anyways, let's wrap this episode of Cosmic Channels up. Thanks, everybody.
Woo.
Woo.
Cosmic Channels is brought to you by Big Theory Productions. The Cosmic Channels are now closed.